Yo, what is going on, family? This is your man Dante, and welcome back one more time to another episode of Mental Recast. Now, look, if this is your first time with me, please do me a humongous favor: like, share, and subscribe. And as you find value in this video, not just share it on Facebook, but purposely send this to at least one person that you know that needs to hear it. Whether y'all was talking the day before or today or whenever, and this message hit you in your heart, in your soul, go ahead and send this message to somebody, because they will definitely appreciate it. Now, so let's take a deep breath. As today is day 6, let it out. One more time, out through the mouth. Relax your mind, and say with me: things are always working out for me. Come on, say it again. Say it one more time. You know how I do it. Tell the cat, tell the dog, tell somebody looking at you crazy right now. Things are always working out for me. Now, today's foundational scripture is Proverbs 126 and 5. Psalms 126 and 5. And it says, those that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Proverbs 126 says, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Now, when I was doing my study on this, I had to go back and read it in the New Living Translations, right? And it says those are basically saying those that have sown tears, that the situation didn't look like that it worked out for you, that God turned it around and had it work out. And a lot of times, man, we do not pay attention to the upside of things. You know what I'm saying? We kind of get complacent and like, oh, it would have worked out anyway, or oh, you know, it's okay. I wanted this, but I didn't get that, and we get kind of mediocre in our response to when God blesses us and when God keeps us, right? So I can say without a shadow of a doubt that there have been numerous times where God has come through for me, and God has made a way, and it didn't seem like it was going to work out. Case in point. So, you know, we got to be transparent, man, 100%. So I remember there was a time that I actually had to go to jail, right? And it wasn't nothing for a crime I committed, nothing like that. But I took advantage of when they send you the little postcards in the mail. You know what I'm saying? They send you letter after letter after letter. You know, hey, you need to pay this ticket. And so I was young, probably like less than 21, or probably 21, something like that. And I didn't take it serious. And like I said in the other day about the sting operation, if you didn't have no idea what I'm talking about, go back. Matter of fact, let's take a pause. Let's take a little coffee break. If this is your first time, go to the beginning of the channel and watch all the videos entitled 30-Day Encouragement Challenge, and get caught up, because there's some good stuff we sharing over here. Some good stuff. So so they had sent me numerous letters in the mail, maybe like 3 or 4, right? And so I did not take it seriously. I was like, I'll just pay it off when I get time, man. You know, I'll be straight. It ain't no big deal. And sure enough, one day I was down at my grandparents' house, and I was helping him move a car. I was helping my grandfather move a car, one car from out of one parking spot to another. And there just so happened to be police in the community. You know what I'm saying? Law of attraction. You know, when you don't do what you're supposed to do, it circle around, that thing boomerang. And so I didn't think nothing of it, but I had a feeling. I was like, yo, why they driving slow? What they looking for? So I go and I help my grandfather move, all of that. And they just so happened to come over and ask me what I was doing. They came over and it was like, you know, hey, what are you doing? What's your name? I don't know if they were looking for somebody or what, but they were like, what's your name? Where do you live? And so they ran me in the system. And sure enough, I had a warrant for my arrest because of the traffic ticket. And I think I had 2 traffic tickets for speeding. I don't speed no more. You see this car right now, stationary. You know what I'm saying? We don't do no more speeding. I never forget my aunt. She was telling me, she was like, Dante, aren't you tired of buying those benches in the courtroom? You know what I'm saying? Lining those judges' pockets, because that's all you doing. You wasting your money. And but I learned my lesson. So I had they ran me, and sure enough, I had a warrant, and they put me in handcuffs and put me in the back of the cop car. And I was like, yo, this has got to be a joke. Like, this is like, people don't get, come on, man. I'm helping my grandparents move a car. How am I gonna get arrested for helping my grandparents? Like, what the heck? But sure enough, and even I never forget, it was a white cop, and it was he was either Asian or Mexican. And he looked at the white cop looked at the Mexican cop and was like, look, like, we really don't have to do this. Like, why are we booking them? You know what I'm saying? Why are we bringing them in? But he was gung-ho. You know what I'm saying? The Asian dude, I was like, what is going on? So, and if you pay attention to yesterday's video, sometimes I have these instances in my life where that actually does happen. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm hit, like, kind of bewildered, kind of dumbfounded, like for real? Like, what's going on? And so, in those instances, it is 100% a test for me to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew. So let's keep going with the story. So I get handcuffed. They put me in the cop car, and they take me to jail. And I'm still not thinking it's serious. And I tell you, that some of you may not believe, you know what I'm saying, all this good stuff. But in the back of those cop cars is no cushion, and they are plastic as like this tote. And the reason is, well, what I feel is that, you know, when people throw up or they pee or defecate in the cop car, being facetious, you know, it's a way for them to hose it down and wash it out. So those seats are the hardest seats I ever sat on in my life, and I've only sat on them one time. That's for sure, the first and the last. And so on the way to jail, I'm still thinking that this is a joke. I'm really don't thinking that I'm about to go to jail with the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? With the real people, real killers and murderers and thefts and all that. And so I asked him, I was like, yo, I didn't know how long the wait was. I was like, yo, can you put on 105.7? And out here, that's a jazz station. And he looked at his partner. He was like, yeah, you know, why not? And so we listening to smooth jazz on the way. And it's crazy. So I get booked, right? And not booked all the way, because I never had a mugshot. You know what I'm saying? If you look me up there I have no mugshot, because I didn't stay. But I did stay the night. And so she looked at me. So the lady on the computer, the little receptionist, she was like, you know, what are you in for? And I was like, a traffic ticket. And she was like, really? Like for real? You in jail for a traffic ticket? And like I said, I didn't take it serious. So she booked me or whatever, and she looked at where I stayed, and she was like, oh yeah. She was like, yeah, you don't belong in here. She was like, you know, I know people from where you live at, and nah, you don't belong there. And you don't belong here. And so I was like, okay, cool. And I will never forget, as long as I live, going in that jail cell and seeing all those men in there, some people coming down off of drugs, some people in there like it's a vacation. You have homeless people in there, you know, just trying to escape the heat, because it was summertime. You just have a vast array of people. And I'm a neat freak, right? In some respects. And so the toilet in there, Muggs was in there putting their bare cheeks on that toilet seat. I was like, oh God, I have got to get up out of here. I was like, oh my God. And then the sandwiches that they give you is like mystery meat with this watered down Kool-Aid juice thing and some stale cookie. And I was just like, I do not belong in here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I cried that night, but when I woke up the next day, because they had to transport me to another jail, because I told you I had 2 tickets. And so they had to transport me to another jail. And when they transported me there, before I could even, I was in line to take a mugshot, right? But as soon as I got like in line or whatever, it was a dark 24 hours. I was just like, this has got to be a joke, because no, it was crazy. So So before they could book me, I got bailed out, and I paid the ticket and all of that, man. So that experience was one of the most horrible experiences in my life. I have others, but okay, Dante, you said those that sow in tears shall reap in joy. I tell you what, I have a joy, and this ain't no Ren and Stimpy happy joy. I have joy to know what is joy. An exorbitant amount of contentment. You know what I'm saying? A high level of contentment and optimism. I am optimistic in knowing that I will not ever be in jail again. Because, and I'm putting that out into the universe, because I do not belong there. Straight up, I don't belong. And if I have to stay on the up and up and doing right, and two, what really happened, let's really unpack it. The reason why I really went to jail is because I was complacent, thinking that it was a joke. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that those tickets were a joke, and then more so being prideful. Not going down to the courts, getting an arrangement, because I don't know where I was working. I don't know where I was working. But to go down to the courts, I just didn't take it serious. So even as we talk about manifestation, law of attraction, all of these wonderful things, you still have to know that there is a real physical world out here that operates under certain rules and systems. Just like there's rules and systems in the spiritual realm, in the metaphysical, in the quantum realm. And so it's important for you to have those two knowledges working so that you can make the best decision possible. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing, and even though the situation may have been horrible, you know what I'm saying, and I say that often, but look, this is an encouragement challenge, you know what I'm saying. I kind of want to stop calling it a challenge, but just say, it's 30 days of encouragement, because you need to know that horrific incident, if you made it out, it worked out for you, you know what I'm saying. And whatever you cried about, whatever you were depressed about, the thing that I love about what that scripture says, it says those that sow in tears shall reap in joy. But if you unpack it, if you chop it up, separate it, when you sow something, you just don't sow it and you walk away. You know what I'm saying? You sow it, what do? You water it, you know what I'm saying? You tend to it, you pluck it, you make sure ain't no bugs on it, there's no pests, you know what I'm saying? If you have to spray a little pesticide on it to keep the things away from it, you do what you have to do so that whatever you sowed, you'll get a good, you'll when it's harvest time, you'll reap that harvest. And you have to know today that whatever you sowed, whatever you cried over, whoever you cried over, whatever situation you cried over, if it is meant for you and if it is for your good, you will definitely reap a harvest of joy if you faint not, if you don't give up. Whatever job, whatever relationship, if it's meant for you, because that relationship, that's a little touchy, you know what I'm saying? We can go on there forever. But if it's a job or whatever the situation was, if it's meant for you and if it's meant for your good, for your betterment, for your benefit, then as you sowed in tears, you shall reap in joy. What am I saying? You cannot lose focus, because even though you're sad, you cried about it. It was a daunting time, a horrible incident. You cannot give up your responsibility to whatever you sowed. You cannot give up the fight. You cannot give up all of the things. You cannot. There's no way. Let's go. There's no way that you can just throw up your hands and say, okay, I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? I cried over it, and you don't get no reward for it. I hear Eric Thomas say all the time, which I love. He said, if if it caused you pain, at least get a reward for it. At least get a reward for all of the tears that you cried over that thing. At least learn something from that situation that you did all that crying about. At least get something from it. Don't just be one of these people. Oh, woe is me, Eeyore. Okay, don't act like Eeyore in this thing. You know what I'm saying, in life, and just, oh, woe is me. Come on, man. Come on. You need to be like Tigger, even though he crazy and all over the place. You need to be as optimistic as you can, because let's go. Whatever you think about, you what? That's what you get. Whatever you speak, that's what you get. Whatever you believe in your heart, that's what you get. And so you have to be in the mindset and in the vibration and the energy that, yeah, I cried about it, but I'm for doggone sure I'm going to get a reward for my pain. I'm going to get a reward for the tears that I sowed. And so that's the word to you today. Get a reward for the tears that you sowed. Get the harvest. You may be crying, but dry them tears. You sowed enough tears already. Get the harvest. Get the harvest. Get the abundance that came from them tears. Oh boy. Oh man. Your relationship, your marriage may be on the rocks, but change it around. Stop crying and continue to work on it till work. You'll cultivate that relationship, that business, that money, them children, whatever. Continue to cultivate it so that you can get the reward. Come on in, come on. So you can get the reward. You might as well. You might as well take full advantage of this quarantine. They starting to shut stuff down again. You might as well take full advantage. Because if not, what was it all for? It was all for nothing. So, your exercise today, I like to be in your business a little bit. I like to, see what's happening. Your exercise today is for you, of course, again, to go over something that you cried about. Something that you cried about. Somebody, some situation, and go back and revisit that and see where you can get a reward from that situation. Huh? And in the comments, because we interactive around here, I want you to give the example. We don't want all the juicy details, like I said, unless you want to share it. Some people got to get it off their chest. But give us the situation, the instance of what happened. No details needed. Just like I told you. You know what I'm saying? That's and I kind of didn't want to share it because sometimes it's stereotypical for a black man to go to jail and all of this. But I feel and I know that it was beneficial for somebody to learn and to glean from. You know what I'm saying? That's what this life is all about. So even if you don't want to share in the comments, in your journal that you have for these 30 days, write down that situation and see what can you do to cultivate the harvest. How can you rework it? How can you go back and revisit it so that you can get a reward for your tears? That's the word today. Get a reward for your tears. God is there. He waiting on you. He waiting on you to change your vibration. Change your energy about the situation. He is waiting on you. The Creator is waiting on you, man. He is waiting on you to look at it and be like, all right, God, I don't like it, but give me the wisdom on how to change it. Give me the wisdom on what I need to do to change it. And you're going to be blown away. Matter of fact, put that in the comments. Well, after you had that conversation, share with us how the Lord blew your mind. You know what I'm saying? Give us that. Give them details we want. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, y'all know how cool you can. We waxing deep, man. It's almost 20 minutes. Anyway, I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here. This is day 6. And remember, get a reward for those tears that you sowed. Get the harvest. Get the abundance. Psalms 126:5. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. You better go get that abundance, man. You better go get that harvest. Because ain't nobody, hear me when I say, ain't nobody gonna give it to you like you will give it to yourself. This is Mental Recast. We'll see you on the next one.